Don't know what Nahala's talking about. It's not scary at all.
Caught me putting my sun cream in. It is early. It's like 6 a.m. or something like that. We're leaving super early so that we can do the live when we get to St Augustine, because there is only 86 miles left. So we're really hoping that loads of people came and said hello, and yeah, see what we see. As you can tell by Honeybee's face, we've come a very long way. Ooh. Ooh, blew my neck. Woohoo! Last day! So most people know that I'm not a cyclist by nature. And I probably wouldn't have achieved this had I not believed that I can. I'm a big believer that if you keep saying that you can't, then you probably won't. It doesn't mean enough to you to want to achieve it. And I'm not sure if I necessarily had wanted to achieve cycling across America, but I did want to achieve promoting Sunshine People and making it a discussion point for how we should consider human connection being worth more than money. And I'm hoping that I've achieved that. It's pretty mammoth to go and cycle 3,000 miles for, I guess, anyone. But how I tackled it was not looking at the big picture, not saying I've got to cycle 3,000 miles. Kept breaking it down to manageable chunks. Some days it was like, oh, okay, I have 60 miles to cycle today and I could deal with that. And sometimes I would have to say, okay, like today, I'm just going to cycle 20 miles. And then when I'd done the 20 miles, I'd do another 20 miles. And that's true of so many things in life, breaking it down to manageable chunks so that you're able to move forwards, because otherwise when you look at the big picture, if I kept thinking, oh God, I've got to cycle 3,000 miles, I probably would never have got on the bike because it's such a daunting task. I've definitely learned the power of breaking things down to manageable chunks. I love it. To change the world, change people's perceptions. You know, the more we drive kindness into being an important trait to have in our children, the more a difference it will make to the way that they interact. And that's why I think Sunshine People is so important. One of the key things I'm grateful for is the effect that I've seen it have on people. The idea of Sunshine People, the fact I'm cycling across America to raise awareness of my cause and try and get other people doing their own events for Sunshine People. You know, I've seen people have spoken to me about what difference it's had in their day-to-day interactions, how they smile more, how they wave at people, and you know, Jason and I have discussed it there. I've seen in Jason, he's kinder and more embodied into sunshine people than I am on this trip, because I'm cycling all the time. And Jason has some great stories of great human connection, and he's the first person to give our food away and do things for people who need our help, or need our support, I should say, in some way. So it's had a real effect on people, and for me that's humbling, and made the whole cycle across America worthwhile, for sure. I'm thinking it's possible. It's 11 now, right? So.
Thank you. What's your name, honey?
My name is Nahala Summers.
And you're from where?
From England.
England.
Yeah.
Ah. And you're riding from San Diego, California
Yeah.
to St Augustine.
Yeah.
And it's all for just acts of kindness.
Yeah.
If
So I
you're-
don't. My cause is sunshine people, and I believe that we should be putting more kindness into the world. So
Absolutely.
I ask people.
Just so you know, when you ride that bike enough, you're gonna look like this. That's a biker from hell. So you're pretty now, but you might want to give it up about 10, 15, 20 years from now, because at 60, well, 60.
You may or may not be able to see that, but that's a bull on the cycle path. So I'm not going that way. I'm going to have to go back on myself, which is going to add some time on. But I'm not risking getting chased by a bull. No, sorry. Mm-mm.
Don't know what Nahala's talking about. It's not scary at all. Terrifying.
Calling myself a non-cyclist for most of this, but I guess I should really be calling myself a cyclist now after 3,000 miles. What makes us be able to call ourselves something? When I wrote the book, I can remember somebody saying to me, "Oh, you're not an author just because you've written one book." And I think, well, you kind of are. I think when you're doing and you're taking action in whatever it is that you choose to do, you can pretty much call yourself that. A potter, or I don't know, a knitter, whatever it is. We have lots of people that don't want us to do well, or don't want us to call ourselves things, only because they feel envious of that, mostly. So yeah, go take some action. Go and do whatever it is that you want to do, and then you can call yourself it. So I can now say that I'm an author who's also a cyclist. Nice. When I climbed Kilimanjaro, I did it for a charity, and a lot of money was raised in Paul's name. But I can remember being about 6 hours from the top. It was pitch black. I felt really sick. I was really, really ill. I sat down and said, I don't want to do any more. I genuinely felt that. I would have been quite happy to walk back down that hill, even though I was just 6 hours from the top. The importance of the money was not strong enough for me to think this is worthy for me to get to the very top, even though when I got to the top it wasn't the money that I thought of, it was Paul and his memory. However, with Sunshine People, with this ride, even when it's been scary and I have not wanted to carry on, even when I've said I can't do this, in my head, even though I've been verbally saying that in my head, I have known that I can do this and I am going to achieve this. So, and that's the difference that kindness has. You know, knowing that people are doing acts of kindness makes it would be disrespectful for me to give up on the challenge. Meaning that kindness is definitely worth more than money. As I approach the traffic lights, I can see the sea, and I'm going to turn into a park. It's a pretty astonishing feeling, really, that I've made the end. 3,000 miles later, 2 months passed, one bike, me, and a bloke with a camera. Amazing what you can do, eh? With a few little things. About finishing in a way that when you've been doing something every day for 2 months and suddenly it ends, you wonder what you're meant to do tomorrow, really. You think to yourself, actually I have to get on the bike tomorrow, and then you have to remind yourself that you don't have to do that. I'm glad that I've reached the end because it was the aim. I'm glad that kindness has been raised. And so much sponsored kindness has happened and the ripples of kindness has happened, but I also feel a little bit lost and wonder what to do next. All ideas gratefully received. Thanks so much for all those people that have been watching the vlogs all the way along. That's the bubbles from the Prosecco. And for those that are just coming along and maybe you're just seeing this, you know, go back, have a look, pass some time. There's some amazing footage from Jason, who owns Cine Cloud. You should look him up. plug. And yeah, I'm ever so grateful to Jason for coming, because the footage that you get to see in these vlogs for nothing is really astonishing. And I know, well, my mum's enjoyed them, so that's, you know, important. And there's been a huge number of people that have really enjoyed them, so they're worth a watch. And go back and see the change in us from 60 days ago to today. We look like different people. I looked 10 years younger when I started, and Jason had shorter hair. Thanks everybody, thanks so much for being part of this. You know, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got some great stuff that we're going to do on the final month as well in America. So do subscribe to that, and also that'll allow you to tune into all the next adventures of Sunshine People and what happens next.